How food dyes lead to health issues.
What are food dyes and what are they named? Food dye is an additive to food that gives it a vibrant color. It can be liquid, gel, or powder form. There are so many different food dyes.
Tartrazine, also known as yellow 5. This dye is often used in candies, baked goods, and sodas. It can trigger allergic reactions in people with asthma or aspirin intolerance.
Sunset yellow, also known as yellow 6. This dye is often used in candies, baked goods, and sodas.
Red 40, also known as Allura Red. This dye is used in ketchup, yogurt, dips, and other foods. It is also found in Skittles, Doritos, and Twizzlers.
Citrus red 2. This dye is rarely used and comes from the skin of some Florida oranges.
Blue 1, also known as Brilliant Blue.
Blue 2, also known as indigo carmine.
Green 3, also known as Fast Grain FCF. Red 3, also known as erythrocene, causes cancer in animals.
What foods are these food dyes in? The dye in a variety of things from soda to juice to candy to pastries to maraschino cherries and more. According to the FDA, it's found in certain candy, cakes, and cupcakes, cookies, frozen desserts, and frostings and icings, and ingested drugs.
Here are some examples. For example, red dye 40 can be added to ketchup, yogurt, dips, and other foods to give them a more vibrant color. Blue number 1, Brilliant Blue, a greenish blue dye used in ice cream, canned peas, packaged soups, popsicles, and icings. Blue number 2, Indigo Carmine, a royal blue dye found in candy, ice cream, cereals, and snacks. A study published in the Journal of Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics found that 60% of foods purchased by Americans contain food additives. The Environmental Working Group Food Scores database contains about 13,000 products made with dye.
Why is it a problem for us? Food dye can cause behavioral problems in children and can contaminate water supplies. They can contaminate water supplies when improperly disposed, entering waterways through wastewater discharge, which can then color the water, disrupt aquatic ecosystems by hindering photosynthesis, and potentially harm aquatic life due to toxicity depending on the type of dye used. This can occur even in small amounts, as many dyes are not easily broken down by traditional water treatment methods. The behavioral problems it causes in children consist of hyperactivity, inattention, restlessness, and tantrums. It worsens for children who have ADHD.
Cancer. Some food dyes like red 3 can cause cancer in animals. DNA damage. Red 40, a synthetic food dye, can cause DNA damage.
Chronic inflammation. Red 40 can cause chronic inflammation in the colon and rectum, which may cause the development of colorectal cancer.
Other health issues. Food dyes can cause other health issues, including tantrums, itching, agitation, rage, irrational thinking, joint pain, aggression, and impaired memory.
The main problem is how red 40 can cause DNA damage. Cancer is caused by changes in a person's DNA, usually in genes, and occurs when those changed DNA cells duplicate uncontrollably. DNA damage can certainly lead to cancer. DNA damage leads to mutations that cause cells to grow out of control, which leads to cancer.
Here's how DNA damage causes cancer. DNA lesions. DNA damage can create breaks in the DNA strand, which can lead to mutations. Faulty genes. Mutations in genes can cause cells to divide abnormally. Inefficient DNA repair. When DNA repair mechanisms don't work properly, mutations can accumulate and lead to cancer.
An argument people may make. People may say that the FDA approved these dyes, so they must be safe, right? The FDA has approved many food dyes for food use, but the agency's safety standards are outdated and don't properly protect children. Also, recently the FDA banned red dye, number 3, after finding out it causes cancer in animals and may cause it in humans.
In addition, Europe already banned red 40 alongside yellow 5 and 6. Regulation. The EU limits the use of each color additive to specific food categories. The EU prohibits adding food colorants to unprocessed foods, organic foods, baby food, and some traditional foods. The EU requires that all food packaging label artificial food dyes.
How to solve this problem? Recently, the FDA's decision to ban red dye number 3 comes just days before President-elect Donald Trump will be sworn into office. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump's pick for Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Service, has considered taking action against food dyes and other potentially harmful additives.
They are also planning on doing a Make America Healthy Again movement. MAHA isn't just a political entity. It's a movement with a singular purpose: to ensure that the next 4 years are defined by a commitment to public health, sustainable practices, and a government that truly serves the people. It creates a vision for a healthier America, where they plan to ban red dye number 3 from food in the United States on January 15, 2025. Manufacturers have until January 15, 2027 to reformulate their products to remove the dye. For drugs that are ingested, the deadline is January 18, 2028.
What we can do in the meantime: we can limit the amount of food with artificial dye that we intake. We can choose to read food labels carefully and opt for products with natural colorings instead of artificial dyes, while advocating for stricter regulations and labeling requirements from food manufacturers and regulatory agencies, like the FDA, to limit the use of potentially harmful synthetic dyes.
We can create an educational program for our community that teaches us the dangers of food dye, how to avoid it, healthy alternatives, and the healthy life that comes from avoiding artificial, harmful food dyes. Well, what about the people who can't afford non-artificial organic food? We would advertise this on many websites, newspapers, posters, and ads, and this video you're watching right now. To make fundraisers, we can collect money to buy healthy food and give them to those who can't afford it, because it will cost you more in the end when you get cancer. In conclusion, the use of food dyes poses significant health risks that warrant regulation. Studies have linked food dyes to adverse effects, allergy reactions, hyperactivity in children, behavioral problems, and cancer. These risks are particularly concerning given the widespread use of food dyes and processed productions, often to appeal to consumers rather than enhance nutritional value.
As awareness grows with our educational programs and ways of advertising, we can build a healthier future for everyone.
Let's make America healthy again.